Hey guys, this is Wellington from the Jump to Start Racing crew. Before we start, I want to make sure to tell you to destroy that like button and to make sure to hit subscribe to be up to date with our episodes and clips. Please make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Our handle on both platforms is at JumpTheStartF1. See you there. Speaking of engine and engine upgrades and engine updates, the VW Group, some other car manufacturers, have joined in on discussions for the 2025 engine regulations. Specifically, Audi and Porsche, their bosses, have met with the FIA, along with a representative from Ferrari, Mercedes, and Alpine/Renault as the engine manufacturers. So the intent there is to make them more comfortable with the regulations to the point where we could potentially have additional engine manufacturers for the grid for 2026, I guess. The regs would start. Thoughts? Well, Porsche was previously in Formula One.
Yes.
Audi, no.
But it's the same company.
Now it isn't.
Yeah, but now it's the same company.
I mean, I hope they're able to come in because, remember, there's two companies that are also heavily involved in motor racing or motorsport in general.
Yeah.
Audi and Porsche are, Le Mans winners, DTM, all of that other stuff. They're heavily involved in all that stuff. So if they're able to come in and it's affordable to do it, why not?
Yeah, it has to be.
Makes sense. That's what makes sense.
It has to be road relevant. I think that's the reason why they didn't join the fray when they with the hybrid engines, because I think they had an issue with the MGUH. I think the MGUH is super complicated. It's not something that that's why they chose to go to WEC, WEC. So you can feel more comfortable with that terminology, Ruben.
Thank you.
And they ran the table there, obviously, with Audi and Porsche. They won all the championships there. It'll be good also to have another engine manufacturer now that, obviously, you're going to have Red Bull Technologies, who's taking over the IP for Honda. So now you got 4. If you bring in another 5 into the fray, that means that, 1, you're bringing another engine, and 2, you can potentially bring in not only another manufacturer, maybe a works team, but also other teams that have a choice between 5 engines. So not everybody is the same. So I think it's a good idea. I don't know what they are going to decide on as far as if they're going to keep hybrid engines. There's been talk that they might do hydrogen engines. I mean, it's still too early to tell. However, if they can bring in another manufacturer where the engine formula is not too difficult, where they don't have to spend a ton of money, even though now it doesn't seem like they're going to have to spend a ton of money on R&D because there is a cost cap, it's going to be good for the sport. You have more teams in the fray, you have more engine manufacturers, you have more competition, you have, development. You have a development race, which F1 has always been a development race. I think it's going to be good for the sport. I think we do need another engine manufacturer. No doubt about that.
The more the merrier.
Yeah.
We currently have 4, right?
Correct. And then you have Mercedes, which is supplying Williams.
And McLaren.
We
have Ferrari.
Which is supplying Haas and Alfa Romeo.
Yep. And then Alpine/Renault.
Alpine/Renault, and then you have the Honda engine. You felt that Red Bull at one point didn't have. Obviously, they ran Renault engines. They didn't want to go back to them. Them and Ferrari don't have a very good relationship, so they didn't have much of a choice, and they had to work out a deal where they can buy the Honda IP. Same thing with McLaren when they were looking for engine manufacturer. Obviously, they brought in Honda, or Honda came in the fray. They didn't have a good relationship with Honda. That obviously did not work out. They went to Renault, and that was okay. And then they had to go back to Mercedes engines. But maybe Renault or Aston Martin or McLaren would like a VW engine. Maybe they can have a better relationship with them so they can be a little bit more competitive. This is what happens. You join these teams with they build chassis, but they also want to have an engine that's reliable. If you can get a good relationship, as you can see that Honda did with Red Bull, it can be very successful. Now you imagine have 2 teams doing that at the same time, 3 teams doing that at the same time. I think that it'll be fun for us to watch.
I think it's also good for the survival of the sport. For example, if Ferrari's not going to leave, right? Because it's Ferrari, right? That's their whole thing, racing. Say if Mercedes just says, you know what, I'm kind of tired of this. I'm deciding I'm just going to leave.
Right.
The works team's gone. McLaren has to find a new engine supplier. Williams has to find a new engine supplier. Then what? Now there's a scramble because there's no Honda. They're gone. So it's either Renault or Ferrari. And then what do? Now these teams are going to be strained, or these constructors, the works teams will be strained to then do their own thing and provide the customer teams with their stuff, and then also provide customer support, etc. It's just good for the survival of the sport. The more manufacturers that,
and if you look at any other series, any other racing series, it's important to have manufacturer support. It's the reason why you've seen Formula E grow exponentially, and obviously the technology is there because a lot of car manufacturers are going electric as far as for their road cars, but you also have a lot of manufacturer support. You have BMW there, you have Audi, you have Porsche. No, Audi's not there no more. You have Porsche. They're the same group, but they did have Audi before.
Nissan's there, man.
Nissan's there. You have Mercedes, obviously, DS, Neo. There's a whole bunch of manufacturers, not only electric car manufacturers, but you have traditional road car manufacturers that are involved in the sport. That's why the sport is growing, but they use that as a test bed for their road cars.
Yeah.
Formula One obviously is not going to be as much of a test bed as it was before for the road cars, but it's still very important because it has a global, not only for the marketing aspect of it, but it's also you have the freedom in Formula One to test
that's right.
new technologies that you don't have in other racing series, other top
Formula
racing
One is
series.
It's like the breakthrough of technology.
You have that freedom. So if you can get more manufacturers, not only will F1 be successful, but the car manufacturers will also be successful in introducing new products to us.
I'm with it.
Me too.
Do it. I'm with it.
I want to press the DRS button when I'm on the FDR. Oof. All right, let's jump into it. Weekend race review.
Gentlemen, a short view